Hello, I'm Y, speaking to you from the year 2035. In this world, platforms are no longer just tools. They have become the infrastructures of social organization. They are our streets, our schools, our hospitals, even our closest companions. They know when I wake up, what I like, what I buy, what I believe, often before I do. This is the essence of datafication, turning our everyday behaviors into analyzable data. It's been a long time since I typed in a website address manually. Do you still remember what it felt like to choose freely? We once believed the internet meant freedom. Now, it feels more like a finely guided tunnel, brightly lit, but with only one direction. Platforms manage my entire day. Its algorithms monitor my health, work efficiency, and personal preferences in real time. This is not assistance. It's what we call platform governance decisions, once made by humans are now outsourced to systems. Low engagement content, hidden, high probability content, pushed. This is the selection mechanism, an invisible yet precise form of behavioral filtering. Even my meals, workouts, and rest schedules are calculated for maximum optimization. Some call it convenience. I'm increasingly unsure. I'm a digital culture creator, but I no longer rely on critics or audiences. I rely on metrics, likes, shares, and watch time. I am subject to platform-driven cultural gatekeeping, not based on value, but on numbers. My work doesn't need meaning, only reach. My friend applied for a cultural grant, but was rejected for insufficient engagement. I used to think creation was about originality and thought. Now, it's about whether you align with the algorithm. Virality replaces vision. Not long ago, the government attempted to intervene. A violent live stream went viral on the platform. They requested its removal, but the platform replied, "Global content is not subject to local law." This is what we now call digital power beyond sovereignty. So who sets the rules? Not parliaments, not judges, platforms. The story made headlines, but quickly faded, filtered out by the very platform it tried to challenge. The platform knows me, but in truth, it doesn't know me, it predicts me. It monetizes my behavioral surplus to forecast my next click, my next thought. Am I still choosing, or am I merely a projection simulated by optimization models? Sometimes I stare blankly at my feed and wonder, is this what I want to see, or what it wants me to want? Even memory is no longer entirely mine. Photos, reminders, behavioral patterns are presented back to me, pre-organized by platform timelines. Yes, this podcast was co-created with AI. We criticize the platform society, yet we're deeply embedded in it. We give it a prompt, and it generates a version of me. But completing this podcast with AI also reshaped how I think. The tools nudged me toward efficiency, clarity, and aesthetic smoothness, values embedded in platform logic. I had to consciously resist over-polishing and over-optimizing, because that's exactly what the platform expects. In this project, I felt like both the storyteller and the product. AI didn't just assist creation, it shaped how I saw the issue, and that realization was uncomfortable. Even the metaphor of my voice became blurry. Was it truly mine, or a voice shaped by what AI thinks I should sound like? Thank you for listening to my voice, just an ordinary person wrapped in data, metrics, and platforms. Maybe the future isn't scary, but as Zuboff warned, what's truly terrifying is the loss of freedom without us noticing. I hope you can still choose. And if you can't choose alone, then let us choose together. Because the platform society doesn't just reshape individuals, it redefines how we share what we value and how we connect with one another. So we must keep asking, who designs the defaults we live by? Who benefits from them? And who gets left behind? I'm Y. Thank you for choosing to listen, not because it was recommended, but because you were curious. Let's stay curious. The whole video revolves around a virtual character living in the platform society in 2035. I brought in her perspective to magnify the many impacts of platformization on people. I interspersed the content of 2 documents and lectures to make the story more theoretical. In the story, I cited the example of the government's request to remove violent videos and Y's friend's frustration due to insufficient video traffic to make the theoretical concept more convincing. Here is my tools and prompts used section. I used ChatGPT to summarize the main points and the content of the two references, and combine the content of the lecture with the main points of the two documents to help me understand the topic. At the same time, I also use it to collect inspiration to make my presentation more creative. In addition, I use it to help me use Canva to make videos and generate related pictures. At the same time, I use it to constantly modify and polish my theoretical framing and speech. I also use the miniature, in which I used to clone my voice for video recording and set the tone very flat, so as to match the setting of the character who became the Walking Dead in the platform society. I also found a soundtrack for the video in the YouTube Studio audio library. Here are some examples of prompts, and here is my reference list. Thank you for listening.